Hey YouTube, got an unboxing. Got a 10% or $10 off, not 10%, $10 off coupon to Lowe's, and I had been looking at an Impact Ratchet set made by Ingersoll Rand. I've been looking at it for a little while, and what pushed me over the edge to buy it was a review by Chuck, and then E, like the letter E, 9009 or 2009. You guys are probably familiar with him on YouTube. He's got a lot of welding videos and stuff like that. So his review kind of pushed me over the edge. Basically, he was able to snap off some pretty heavy duty bolts with the impact, and if he's able to break those bolts with them, they're going to be, that impact's strong enough for whatever I need. So I decided to go get it. It's a fairly good deal, actually, even without the discount. It's $149.99 through Lowe's. You can check it out on Amazon and some other places as well. They're charging $10 more everywhere else, sometimes even more than that. Lowe's is definitely the cheapest. So anyway, let's get to the unboxing here, and I'll show you the model number and stuff like that here. Actually, let me back this up a little bit just so you guys can see everything. Okay, so here it is. That's the model number there, the 2317G. And you get the half-inch impact. It's 500 foot-pounds. And then the 3/8 drive ratchet. You also get 5 standard sockets, no metric ones. So. And a nice case too. Case feels good. Probably lasts me plenty time. Probably lasts me as long as I need it to. You got some silica gel in here. Eat that. So yeah, let me make sure you guys can see what's going on in that case there. So right here we have an adapter to go from the 3/8 ratchet to the 1/2 inch, so that you could actually use these sockets with that ratchet. Here's the ratchet, rubber covered handle. You can see down here, right by the hinge here. This is all metal. It's just got a rubber handle over the top of it. Trigger feels good. That feels good. Yeah. One thing I will say is that it doesn't come with any of your male air fittings, so you're going to have to install those. Luckily, I have some. Here's the impact. Real heavy. Nice and heavy. I used to work for Discount Tire back in the day, and use the hell out of these things. This feels every bit as good as the ones that we had over there. I don't remember what brand they were. Forward, reverse. It's got let's see if we can get this to focus on there. We got the settings there, 0 through 5. It's on the other side as well. So, I don't know what the hell this is. I think this is some sort of security device. Let me see if I can get it off of there without breaking everything. Okay, I might need to use some tools to get that off of there. As far as the sockets are concerned, 7/8 is the biggest one. 3/4, 5/8, 9/16, 1/2 inch. And that's all you get. Like that's not enough. For 100, out the door after my discount, I paid like $150 for this. So that's after my discount, after tax. So that, I mean, that's a good deal. This gun is a 500 foot-pound gun. You're not going to find a strong gun like that for under $100. So we'll see. I'll definitely give a long-term review on this and see how long it lasts. Let me find something to break this off of there. Probably have to hit it with a hammer or something. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go grab some tools. A hammer just in case, and a screwdriver. Hopefully I'll be able to pop this apart. Okay, nice. Okay, so pop the cap off of there, and there's a little hex head in there. Not sure what size that is. I have a 14 millimeter socket. Nope. The reason I have a 14 millimeter socket is I have these, I don't know if they're made out of aluminum or what they're made out of. I'm sure you guys have seen these as anodized air fittings. They're not standard, they're metric. It's 14 millimeter. Ta-da! And this one just unscrews, hopefully. Nope, doesn't unscrew, pops off. Make sure that these are the right size. Yes, they are. Okay, and I'm going to show you these sockets. These are deep wall impact sockets. Anybody familiar with Harbor Freight crap has seen those before. Let me get some wire cutters. Sorry about having to walk away from this, deal with it. My shop's big, so my tools are on the other side of the room. I'm just cutting off the little clips here so that I can pull the retainer off. Anybody that's ever struggled with those, look for that. There's some little teeny tiny little clips here. Basically what it is these points are sticking through the bottom. So snip that point off and it comes right out. Ow. Okay, so that didn't work out quite as planned. As far as the quality of these are concerned, fits on the gun just as well as these will. So, as far as quality is concerned, I mean, this has got a gloss finish. This has obviously got that flat finish. It says here that they are, and you can go to their website and read all this, black phosphate finish to prevent corrosion. They're chrome vanadium construction. So, I mean, they feel every bit as quality as any other impact sockets I've ever had, and I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that call bullshit on me that are big fans of spending ridiculous amounts of money on Snap-on or Matco or something like that. Keep going buying, go ahead and keep buying Snap-on if that's what floats your boat. I buy cheap shit that works, so. I'm not going to bother trying to pull all that stuff off. So, basically I'm going to get these fittings installed here. Got the Teflon tape. Your threads, they screw in like this, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Make sure that your Teflon tape is going the opposite direction so that it doesn't peel off when you're threading it on. One time around should do the trick. Go. Here's one thing that I wanted to check. I did buy a die grinder from Harbor Freight, and that has a case. When I had the air fitting on here, I wasn't able to put the die grinder back in the case. That's not the issue here, at least not with that. Shouldn't be an issue here with the ratchet either, which is awesome. That's them thinking ahead. And for those that are interested in these little anodized fittings, if you've been thinking about buying them and you're hesitant because everybody's told you to grab the gold type, the brass ones, these do feel lighter. I don't know, I'm assuming they're made out of aluminum. I don't know for sure what they're made out of. They do feel significantly lighter and more light duty. But so far so good. I haven't had any leaks in the hose when I'm, because I've got the female fitted here. And it's got the 4 ball bearings inside of it. And it just feels, it feels like a good connector to me. How long it'll last, who knows. But most of us garage type mechanic stuff, they're doing stuff out of our home or haven't got quite to the production level yet that they need to be super concerned about stuff like that. This should get you by and be more than sufficient. So try them out. If you don't want to try them out, don't try them out, but they work for me. Now, we're getting ready to find something out here. As you guys know, I have, or some of you guys know that have been watching my videos, I have a California Air Tools model number 4620A 4.6 gallon compressor. It's a silent compressor. It's not really silent, but it is extremely quiet. It's rated at 5.3 CFM at 90 PSI. I have no idea if this thing's going to be strong enough to run this impact. We're getting ready to find out. If it's not, then I'll be buying another compressor. I am very, very happy with this compressor. I've been able to spray with a low volume, low pressure gun, no problem. It does run non-stop, but it's handled it. Manufacturer says that you can run it non-stop for an hour. They don't recommend that you do that to an hour, but it can and still be okay. Yeah, I've been impressed with it. I can run my Everlast Power Plasma 50 off of it. Runs just fine. I don't know what else to say. Runs good. Let me get the air pressure on this thing set. So here's as loud as this is. So you can see that it definitely slows down. My compressor it fills up fast, so you'll hear in a second that thing's going to shut off. It doesn't take long for it to fill back up. So for those that are super concerned about, oh, I'm going to be waiting longer. See, there it goes. Waiting longer to do what waiting longer for the compressor to fill up than I am it actually working. If this is what you got, this is what you got. So make it work. Let me make sure that I have an impact socket that will go over some of these lug nuts that are on this truck here, and we'll pull some of them off, or try to. It's not going to be metric, so let me check these two. It's a 3/4. So let's get this on here and go over to that Pathfinder, the 1995 Pathfinder, and see if this thing will be able to pull these lug nuts off. One thing I do want to forewarn you about is I have no idea how long these lug nuts have been on here. As you can see, this truck's got a whole hell of a lot of rust. So we'll see what's going to happen. It came off. I'm going to try to pull that off manually, just so I can see how tight it was. That was actually very tight. I would say over tight. So definitely with this compressor, this does the trick. I'm going to turn it down a bit. And it was on full blast, it was at 5. So I'm going to take it down to like 3 and see where we're at. Much better. Much better. So I don't know how that'll work on a proper shop compressor, but for my setup, number 3 setting on here, I'll have to read the instructions and see what foot-pounds that is, but that's much closer to what this should be at its full torque setting. I will tell you this: you should always use a torque wrench when lugging, when tightening down your lugs. You can very easily over tighten them. I even do this, and I know better. You basically, everybody thinks these things need to be super tight, and to be perfectly honest, I've run into cars while working at Discount Tire that were as low as, I think, like 30 foot-pounds of pressure, which isn't shit, but most of them were at 75, but some of the lighter, really light cars, they were actually really low. So find out what your torque setting is for your lug nuts on your vehicle, and you should actually use a torque wrench on that. Basically just use this quick zap it on there, and just to tighten it up, not to tighten it, I should say, but just to get the lug nut on there quicker, then come back with a torque wrench and make sure it's torqued properly. As far as I'm concerned, this truck's coming apart. I don't care if it's too tight. So, with that being said, very happy with this. I don't know what else to tell you. It feels like it's a very strong, as far as quality, feels like a very good gun. Ratchet feels real good. My small compressor is enough to run it. Now I'm not going to be sitting there just bam, bam, bam and hammering away on stuff, but with that small 4.6 gallon tank and the 5.3 CFM at 90 PSI, I'm able to break free lug nuts. I'm able to over tighten lug nuts. I know some people that have been buying Harbor Freight brand guns have had issues with the guns not being strong enough to even break loose some lug nuts. Just because you have a gun like this doesn't mean that it can break lug nuts loose, okay? Make sure that you're getting a good quality gun if you're looking to do serious stuff like that. If you're looking to break loose heavy duty bolts, suspension arms, shit that's rusted, that's going to take some force, get a good gun, okay? That's about all I can say for now. Alright, subscribe, comment, like. I'll put a link in the description to Lowe's where you can get this. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon where you can buy these fittings. And link for the Harbor Freight impact sockets, as well as a link to my Facebook page. Check my Facebook page out, like it. I don't care if you go check out any of this other stuff. Like my Facebook page. Be cool about that. That's why I got this going. Trying to attract attention to what I'm doing, help a guy out. Okay, talk to you guys later.